What do they regret about you? What regrets do they hold in their heart about you? Hi, I'm Diana, Psychic Intuitive, and before you are 3 cards from the Transmutation Oracle. Pile 1 is card number 25, glass half full or half empty. Pile 2 is card number 7, yes. And card number 3 is 18, cell phone or battery. Go ahead and choose whichever pile is calling to you the most, or you're feeling the most attracted to. There could be multiple messages in this video here, in this reading here for you today. So you might feel called to 2 piles, or 1 or 2, or if you feel called to all 3, watch all 3. A recommendation I have is that if you have multiple people in mind, you can assign each pile to a person, a pile to one of the people that you're thinking about. And if you're still undecided as to which pile you feel the most attracted to, let me add some object for you. I'll be right back. And we're back. So object number 1 is the white finger starfish. Object number 2 is a scallop seashell. And object number 3 is the virgin cone shell. Virgin cone shell. So pause if you have to. Take your time. Make your choice or choices. And I will see you at your reading or readings. Welcome to your reading pile 1. Let's take a look at your message today. Let me set your chosen object to the side finger starfish. Let us begin. Number 25. Okay. So I feel like this person regrets not appreciating you for what you were. I feel like this person, maybe they were very pessimistic when they dealt with you in the past. And they wish they hadn't been so focused on judging or assessing you, and more focused on appreciating that you were present, that you were there. Okay, they really regret appraising you and trying to assess if you were good enough or if you had enough, and they really regret not simply just appreciating that you were there. Okay. That's a big regret they have. Another regret I'm seeing is that they regret not appreciating how pure you were. Okay, I feel like this person, whoever you're dealing with or thinking about, they realize now that, you know, assess all they want, judge all they want. Bottom line is that you were pure, that you meant no ill will. You were innocent. You were innocent. And this is something they regret not appreciating about you. I feel like this person, just for a few of you, I feel like you used to offer this person things and they didn't appreciate what you had to offer. I almost feel like they looked at what you offered or gave them and they thought, okay, like they didn't really appreciate what you were offering, and now they regret that. They now see that what you offered was clearly of value, and that they should have appreciated it when it was there. Okay? They should have appreciated it when it was there. That's a message coming through. Right, let's move on to your next card. So we're getting in touch with your body. Oh my gosh, look, there's another glass in hand there. Right. So this person really regrets that, you know, when you offered them like nice things, that these things were good things. Okay, they may not have appreciated it at the time. I'm almost getting this vibe like this person likes to drink like sugar, sodas, stuff like that, and then when you brought them a healthy drink, they were like, what is this? And they didn't appreciate the healthy drink that you brought. So this could be symbolic as well, okay? Meaning that what you had to offer was very wholesome and very quality. compared to what maybe they were expecting or preferring to have. And they really regret not appreciating the fact that you were bringing them health, that you were bringing them something that was good for them. Okay, whether it was advice, whether it was an emotion, whether it was, a response on your part, whether it was a literal physical item that you brought them, that they didn't appreciate the value and how clean and pure it was. They regret this about you. Yes, so I feel like this person did not appreciate that about you. I feel like something else this person regrets is that, you know what? You were beautiful, okay? You looked really good, okay? You were pleasing to the eye. You were exotic, and your body reflected your good choices, the choices that you brought to them that they weren't interested in or that they were bored with or whatever, okay? They're realizing that the reason you look so good is because you ate like this, is because you consumed foods like this, and you were trying to give this to them. And so they regret that for some of y'all, okay? That's what one of the regrets. I feel like one of their biggest regrets about you is not taking advantage of the wholesome things that you provided, okay? Not seeing the value in it and then making use of it, okay? That they spend too much time not appreciating this, okay? Perhaps you try to encourage them to drink lots of water and they were not interested in hearing about that, okay? Interesting. Okay, let me move this over here so these cards can be here. All right, let's take a look at your next card. We have All Talk. It says here, Silver-tongued devil and big flirt, no action player. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like someone regrets how, this is, what this is bringing to mind. This is, as an example, is someone who married a beautiful wife who was very wholesome, took good care of them, cleaned the house, made good healthy food for them, was a quality thing. You know how they say a good wife is like gold or something, or a good spouse or a good partner is like, a golden hand. You really, it's priceless. Okay, it's a priceless thing to have. And one of the things they regret about this is they didn't appreciate that and instead would go to the bars, or they would flirt with others, or they would, say, oh, I'll be there, and then they wouldn't show, or that they played around on you, okay? So this could be not just a romantic relationship. This could be a career, okay? This could be a situation where maybe an ex-boss of yours really saw that you were offering wholesome quality things, but instead they were, flirting around with other potential employees or other ideas that weren't good for them, like alcohol versus, a healthy green drink, okay? Just, symbolically and as an example. And they realize now that they just were not in the right headspace to appreciate the quality thing that you were bringing. And I think part of what was going on is that this person, whoever they are, it's like their dopamine levels were really low, and so they were looking for something exciting, something that was all very stimulating, and their dopamine levels were not regulated enough to where they could appreciate the simple things, or they could appreciate the healthy thing, or the wholesome thing, or the pure thing when they saw it and said, yes, that's good for me. Their value system was all jacked up. They preferred alcohol. They preferred hard drinks. They preferred going to the bar. They preferred flirting with others instead of, oh, my beautiful partner, or my beautiful spouse, looking so cute, so fly, taking good care of themselves and dedicated to me. They didn't know how to appreciate it. They didn't know how to get into it. And they were all about these other things. Okay. It says here, big flirt. So they flirted around with other ideas, flirted around with other potential ideas. They flirted around with other employees. They flirted around with the idea of getting someone to replace you. They flirted around with the idea of, with other women. They regret that quite a bit because they see that in reality you were gorgeous, you were fine. They were here in the dark lurking, right? When you were out, look how brightly lit this scene is, full of joy, full of glamour, full of beauty, full of health, full of longevity. Okay, heavenly things. So this is their regret, not appreciating all this. Okay, we have Iron Man. What are you really protecting? Right. They were defensive with you. This person, I feel like they may have been through things in the past, and they learned to have a hard shell. Okay, they learned to put on a hard shell with you, or just in general, and they just realized now that they were being so defensive, they weren't able to let in the goodness. They weren't able to let it in. What are you really protecting? They were protecting themselves, and they're realizing, what the heck was I protecting myself from? Protecting myself from healthy drinks, protecting myself from hydration, protecting myself from wholesomeness, protecting myself from ideas that were good for my business or good for my spirit, protecting myself from a devoted, lovely partner, wife, spouse, employee, or friend. What was I protecting myself from? Good things. They regret this. They regret shutting out the good in favor of nursing unsavory or sort of sneaky things. Okay, very interesting. Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, again, so the Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful card, right? This is a woman or person who is independently wealthy too, enjoying their life in luxury. I'm getting a similar vibe from both of these cards here. So there's this idea that this person, it's also the card of solitude, solitary enjoyment. I feel like this person regretted leaving you alone, regretting leaving you to enjoy. Look, cup in hand, cup in hand, cups. This person, they really regretted letting you drink by yourself, letting you be by yourself and enjoy things by yourself when they could have been by your side enjoying it with you. They're realizing now they should have been by your side instead of tuning you out, leaving you. I mean, you were enjoying your life. Don't get me wrong. You were drinking, you were consuming healthy things, both, physically and symbolically. You had cultivated yourself. You had, good things to enjoy for yourself that you had earned. Okay. You had every right to be where you were. And your energy was good. You cultivated good energy no matter what this person was doing. And this person is realizing that the issue was them. They should have been more appreciative of your energy and partook in it more. Enjoyed it with you more instead of leaving you by yourself and then going off by themselves to go do whatever sneaky things they were doing. Okay? They would tell you, oh, I'll be there. Oh, I'll come hang out with you. But then they wouldn't show up. They were all talk, no action. They regret this. They regret letting your beauty and your refined air be alone. They wish they had shared it with you. This may be an ex. This may be a friend in the past, or it could be someone maybe you're still dealing with that has turned a new leaf and is no longer like this. I don't know. Maybe they've had a wake-up call and this is a regret they have about you. Just apply it to your situation as it fits. Next, we're seeing parental control, overpowering authority, conditional approval, and rebellion freeze. Okay. Yeah, so obviously this person regretted being controlling of you. I feel like this person also tried to control you. They tried to control you by trying to, they were petty. That's another vibe I'm getting through. So when something was off that they didn't like, they made it a point to disapprove of you, let you know they didn't approve. This goes back to that judgmental, remember I said they had a judgmental attitude of you. Rather than enjoying what was there, they were busy assessing, appraising, judging. And so they would make their judgment. And a lot of times, or sometimes, whenever it fell short, they would hold that over your head. They'd say, well, that's not good enough. Well, that's stupid. Instead of, wow, you look great today. Wow, the place is amazing. What happened here? Did you actually work on our garden? Or, oh, look at all these reports that you got done. This is amazing. You did great here. Now, I'd like to focus your attention on this. They just were not appreciative of what you had done. And they would focus on what you'd done wrong and hold that over your head. They regret that. They regret withholding love or withholding attention or withholding company from you because they didn't approve of this one thing or the other or that. Okay? They really regret that now. They regret that. We have 19 falls. Okay. I feel like this person may have regretted not going somewhere with you or taking you somewhere. Maybe to some waterfall, some island location with beautiful waterfall. They regret not going vacationing with you. They regret not taking you somewhere special. This person regrets not letting their emotions flow for you. They really regret stifling the emotion instead of letting it flow. This person regrets not gushing about you when it came to your good traits. They regret it quite a bit. They regret not just gushing and fawning over you because of how awesome your awesome traits, like your beautiful banging body, how trim you kept it, how healthy you kept your body, or how clean you kept the place, or your area, your work area, or how wholesome you were, or your choices. Clearly, they see it now. They see it now. And they really regret their opportunities that they had, that they didn't take to appreciate and gush over you when you were bringing forth all these beautiful things and when you were exhibiting all these beautiful traits. Okay? They regret that. We have ride or die. Exactly. They regret not staying by your side. What have I been saying? They regret leaving you be. Instead, they were off going to be by themselves, being a player, checking out, texting other women, possibly for some of y'all, or, going to the bar, spending time doing other things, solitary enjoyment, separate from you, because, they were grumbler. They grumbled when they thought about you. They gave you side eye. They realized their first and foremost thought whenever they thought about you in the past should have been, beautiful, my beautiful woman, my awesome employee who's done this for me, or my girlfriend or my boyfriend who's been like this. They're so beautiful. I love the way they had their hair. They smelled great. I really love that drink they made for me. Those should have been the first thoughts. Okay? Or I can't wait to get back with this with viewers, you, okay? I can't wait to get back with viewer and spend time with them and enjoy our time together. They are regretting not being like this. They're regretting not standing by your side through thick and thin. Things were difficult, they should have been there. Things great, be there. Everything, be there. They regret this. They regret not just remaining by your side no matter what, through thick or thin. I get the feeling that maybe if you were attacked by others or you face some kind of criticism from others, they're wishing now that they'd taken your side instead of, perhaps they went off. This is just take it as it applies, okay? And started taking sides with other people against you and saying things behind your back instead of being like, well, I know y'all have complaints or whatever, but that's my posse, that's my woman, that's my guy, that's my top employee. Okay, I know y'all think this or whatever, but that's my bestie right there. Okay, I know y'all think like this, but I'm by their side. Okay, well, I think they're great. I think viewers great. Okay, I know that you didn't like this or you didn't like that about them, but there's things about them that are awesome, that I mean, they really are a good person. They really wish they had stuck by your side, literally, physically, more, and they wish that they had, stuck by your side around other people as well. Okay. Next, we are getting exploration. So, I see. This person wishes they'd explored the relationship more with you. They'd explored the world with you more. Like, remember I said to go on vacation with you? They really wish they'd gone exploring the world with you. This person really wishes that they had gone to new places and gone traveling with you, but instead they were busy protecting themselves from you. They regret that. That's one of their biggest regrets. They're realizing that if they'd stuck by your side more, something y'all would have done more is travel. See the world together. Go vacationing together. This is something they would have loved to have done with you. And they really regret not doing that with you. They regret it. Okay. I'm also getting sexualities coming through here. There's this idea that they wish they'd gone deeper with you. And they're realizing now that they were so defensive and so blocked off and so busy protecting themselves. From what? Jesus, I don't know. They were protecting themselves from themselves, because really what it is that there was nothing really wrong with you. They just had this mentality it may be from childhood or something. Okay, they've been hurt in the past for sure, because Iron Man, his heart's damaged. He has an artificial heart. So they've been hurt from the past. Okay, yeah, they've been hurt from the past, and that's what they knew to do, was to protect themselves. That's all they didn't know how to open up and let the emotions flow, let the beauty of it flow through. They didn't know how. Okay, they regret not going deep with you. It says here, deep dive. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at your next card. We're getting, oh my god, guys, ladies, gents, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. You see? And we're getting confirmation. They regret not being loyal to you and returning to your side every time. They regret not being there with you in that beautiful garden, being around your beauty, being around your finesse, being around your refinement. Okay? They're realizing now that you're a class act. So what I'm getting here now is that they really regret not just... There was a heavenly state they could have enjoyed with you. They're realizing that. And they didn't. They didn't return back to you, the bird of paradise coming back to the woman in her beautiful garden. They really see now that they missed out big time. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see what else is coming through for you on this message. We have reminders, right? So, yeah. So you would send them reminders of stuff that y'all should be doing together. You remind them, hey, we said we do this, remember? Hey, we said we do that, right? And maybe they failed to heed those. We have parents. Oh my goodness, guys. Parents, parental control. So this could be a parent. This could be your parent regretting being so controlling over you and withholding from you love and affection and spoiling you, spending time with you, because they preferred you behave a certain way or that you be a certain way instead of appreciating what you were. What they regret is not accepting you the way you were. Wow. So that's a message coming through for some of you. They're realizing now that they should have stuck by your side, that you ended up being okay anyway. And they should have stuck by your side and showed you that unconditional love. Instead of conditional approval, they should have given you unconditional love. This person felt like they should have been spending that time loving you rather than being stern and judging you. They should have spent that time judging, loving you, holding you close, being by your side, defending you around others, having your back. They wish they'd done that more. They wish they'd been more loving. Perhaps there was something you used to tell them. You'd send them messages, and because they were trying to control you and all this, they wouldn't respond. They're realizing now they should have done better. It says here, I don't feel guilty for how I treated you. My ego is too big to care. They regret this. They regret not caring about how they treated you. They realize now that you are very precious, very special, and someone who they should most definitely have cared about. They're starting to see it was their ego that was in the way. Them thinking they were this and they were that and they deserved more and they deserved this, or they deserved a child that was going to be a doctor, or they deserved an employee that could do X, Y, and Z and all this, when really you are awesome just the way you are. They failed to see that because they had stacked up this huge thing that was not you and was comparing you to that, instead of just appreciating you the way you were and focusing on what your strengths were and realizing, oh my gosh, viewer is amazing. We're getting feather. Oh my, you got a lot of synchronicity here today, pile one. Perseverance, gratitude, peaceful. See? Gratitude. They wish they had been grateful for you. Peaceful, feeling inspired, freedom, success, reminders to slow down, enjoy life. They wish they just slowed down and enjoyed life. They wish they had just let you be free to be yourself. They wish they just enjoyed life the way God had given the gift of God that was you. They wish they had just enjoyed it for what it was and felt the success in that. They wish they could go back and do that over again. We got 10 overload. Yeah, they regret putting so much on you. Remember I said they'd stacked up this big thing. Oh my gosh. And with all these different traits and all these conditions. And they were comparing you to that. This is what they were comparing you to. It was too much. It says you're overload. It's 10 of Wands traditionally. It was too much. They were expecting, not only were they expecting too much, but they were expecting something that was too different from what you could give. And so you could never look good in their eyes. They're realizing now that they failed you before you even got to show what you were about, or there was no way for you to win. In other words, the way their minds were in the past, they regret this because they realized they set things up to the point where you were never going to look good or be good enough or whatever. They regret this, piling this on you. They're realizing that you're refined. They're realizing that you're health conscious. They're realizing that you're natural beauty. They're realizing now that you're a good caretaker of things, what God has given you, like maybe the land, maybe you're a good gardener, or you know how to cook, or you know how to make healthy meals or drinks. You're a good caretaker of your body. You've actually become successful in life. You're successful, part one. They're realizing that you didn't have to do it their way to be successful. That you ended up being successful. You knew you were successful and you were okay with yourself. It was them that needed to catch up to this information. So good on you, pile number 2. Good on you. So good on you, pile number 1. I'm sorry, did I say pile number 2? Please forgive me. I meant pile number 1. Good on you, pile number 1. Thank you so much for bringing your energy to the reading. You sound like an amazing person. And I, for one, appreciate you in all your beauty and glory, exactly the way you are. Take very good care of yourself, and I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye. Welcome to your reading, pile 2. You chose this beautiful Scallop Seashell. Let's set that aside over there. And let's take a look at your cards today, shall we? Let's begin at the beginning. Pile 1. So we have 7. Yes. I love that. Yes. So pile 2. This person regrets not saying yes to you. They wish they had said yes. Okay. They wish they had accepted you. They wish they had affirmed you or given you an affirmative on something you were saying, or said yes to you more, or approved of your ideas more, or approved of you more, or agreed with you more. I feel like this person regrets that. Okay, this person regrets. Yeah, let's set this aside. There's a lot of ways this could go. Let me get more information. Perfect moments. Beautiful. Okay. 28. This person regrets not saying yes to you because you're beautiful, pile 2. You're gorgeous. You're stunning. They're realizing that you were the cream of the crop when it comes to your looks, your energy, your vibe. There really is nothing better than what you represent, what you're about. This person now realizes that you are perfect. That you are perfect. And I feel like this person's starting to realize there's no such thing as the very best one in the entire world. There are tiers, if you will. And you are top tier. You are top shelf. I think this person got caught up in their head on looking for the very best, absolute best one in the world, or the very best absolute thing. There is no such thing. There are the best things or best possibilities, right? And that's how life works. It's not just a line. It's a spectrum, right? It's an array. And you are part of that array, pile 2. They wish they would have said yes to a certain moment they had with you. Perhaps, I feel like there was a moment, a phase or a period in time that came along, and they wish they had said yes to hanging out with you, or yes to your presence, or yes to accepting you. They're realizing that you were very good. There was just, they couldn't complain, really. They got roving eyes. Okay. Keeping possibilities open. Obvious flirt, disrespectful. So what I'm seeing now is that this person really, 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 really regrets not keeping their eyes focused on you. They should have made you feel like the only woman in the room, and they failed you in this. They failed you. They regret it. They regret flirting around on you. They regret not controlling themselves around you. They regret not, they really wish they would have treated you more respectfully, because you are really the best out there for them. The best. Perfect, it says here. Perfect. They wish they could go back and do this over. They wish they could have just been in that room with all these people around and eyes locked with you and you only. They wish they could have done it like that. They regret not doing this. We have Thor. Be sure of foot and steady of heart. Yeah, they wish they'd been more. They felt like they dilly-dallied too much, roving, right? They weren't sure of foot and steady of heart. It feels like they met you, they saw you, they were entranced by you. They saw you for who you are. They see you, they saw you for what you were. They knew you were top notch, top tier, top shelf. But something about having all these many choices around, they couldn't focus, fam. They regret their lack of focus, pal, too. They wish they'd been strong like Thor, I aim with Mjolnir, and that's his hammer, and I just get in there and I hit that hammer. And they wanted to hit the hammer on you, not abusively, but just they wanted to focus on you and make it about you. They wanted to be powerfully about you. They regret that they were not. They regret that they did not channel their inner strength to make it about you and just you. Okay, we got the Knight of Cups. Because in their mind, they're in love with you, pal, too. This person feels like they were in love with you. That's the reality. But they failed to stay focused. And it's funny, the Knight of Cups is very loving and pursues what they love, but they're also impractical. They really regret not being more practical in the way that they loved you, in the way that they love you. Maybe they should have, for example, they should have known that they were going to be heading into a scenario where there were other women and, or other people, or distractions of some kind, and that they should have been focused on you. But instead they got distracted by all the glittering lights and all the options, and they really wish they would have maybe come in with a strategy. Okay? A strategy. Maybe worn some armor or something. They really wish they would have been stronger, more practical in the way they loved you, rather than, I love you, of course I love you, and then distracted, unfocused, because they realized that was not what you deserved. You deserve better than that, pal, too. So we got emotional blackout, shock, freeze response, internal collapse. Pal, too, I feel like this person really regrets what they put you through. They put you through something that made you, that shocked you. You were shocked by their behavior. And you froze. You froze. You stopped shining. Okay? You went dark. And they really regret this. They really regret they didn't say yes to you and keep saying yes to you. They realized that this caused you, it dimmed your light in a way, or caused you to dim your light or something. I don't know. Let's keep looking here. We have 39 merchants. Yeah, they wish they would have just focused on you. It's very clear. It's very clear. They wish they would have just made it about you, and they wish they would have maybe brought business to just you. This could be a business situation as well. They wish they would have just brought business to just you and stopped being distracted by all the other vendors or all the other options. They really wish they'd come to you because you had something special that they wanted. Period. And they really wish they would have remained focused, and so they could have gotten what they want. But if instead things went into a blackout state where they lost something. They lost out. It could have been maybe you stopped loving on them the way you stopped feeling love for them, or something. They really wish they would have just patronized you and only you. They would have been a loyal customer or something like this, okay? So we have pause, okay? Yeah, I feel like this person wishes they'd been more intentional with you. They'd been more intentional, more controlled, okay? They really wish they would have been less impulsive. They regret that. They regret not getting to this state more with you. We're getting beach. Yeah, they were. I feel like this person was a shark or something. It says here bikini. Yeah, so this person was attracted to other women or just distracted by other women's beauty. I'm also getting that this person stayed stuck in like hunt mode. They were still hunting instead of being like, I've caught the fish I want. It's time to switch off hunting mode. You know, they didn't do that. Okay. They wish they had settled down, been calm. I see pause here. They wish they'd settled down and focused in on you. They regret not doing that. Yeah, they also regret not isolating themselves. I think this person wishes they would have isolated themselves. It looks like they maybe sought out other people's company too much. They wanted to go partying. They wanted to go out. They want to do this. They want to do that. They want to go see other people. And they're wishing they would have just stopped trying to see other options and focused in on you. Isolated themselves a little bit. Calmed it down. Because this would have helped them, you know, practically speaking, to be more focused on you, but to enjoy the moment more with you. We have the 8 of Wands. Okay, yeah. This person regrets either ending things with you or not ending something because of you. Okay, this person regrets all the activity. Yeah, they were too fast-paced. They were too impulsive. They're too impulsive. They regret their impulsivity. Or messages being sent, things being said, you know, things happening even before they realize them, and all of a sudden it was done. It could be cheating. I'm sorry if that happened to you. I'm sorry you went through that, okay? But they made a lot of impulsive decisions rather than being calm, rather than acting from a place of calmness and discernment, okay? And staying grounded. Feels like they were always on the go, 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 go. Okay. So we have chit chats, hidden tweets. Yeah. For some of you, this might have been a cheater. Okay, or someone who liked to play around behind your back, act like they were with you, but in reality, they were looking at other options. They were courting other options. They regret this. They regret chit chatting with others behind your back. What did I just say? Impulsiveness. And I said they were impulsive. Look, this person regrets their impulsiveness. They just they would jump on this, jump on that. Oh, I like this. Oh, that's good too. Oh, you know, instead of, oh my gosh, I've got a good one. I found a golden goose. They found the golden goose and they couldn't stop hunting. You see? So this person was like addicted to hunting, addicted to going for things. And maybe they've been looking for so long, or they just were like in the flow of doing this. They missed the cue that, okay, you can stop now. You found what you want. But instead they just kept on shopping. You see, this person's like a shopaholic. Kept on shopping for more stuff. Like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at, even though they got like 20 of these types of things in their closet, they're like, oh, look at this one. Look at this one. Look at their eyes. So they were just stuck in shop mode, in hunt mode. We have, I have lost all control of my life. I keep missing it. Yeah, they lacked self-control. This person lacked self-control. They regret it. When they think of you, they realize that they just were not self-controlled enough. And this is something they need to fix. We got anchor. They need to anchor themselves in you. They regret this. They need to anchor themselves. They need to settle down. Isolate themselves. There's a beautiful... It's like this person bought an island. And all they wanted to do was leave the island and go partying other places. Like, they worked long and hard to buy this beautiful, isolated piece of the beach. And all they wanted to do was go out and never be there. Never be at that beautiful beach that they worked so hard for, which was you. Like, it's like they found the golden goose, but they wanted to go out and play with 1,000 little birds. I don't know. Okay, like regular birds, not the rare bird they found. They lost focus and they did not control themselves. And I'm also getting that some regrets not being grounded. I said that before. It's coming up again. They regret not anchoring themselves in you, anchoring themselves in what they had found in you. Strong about it. Strong in it. Finally, we got karma. Yeah, this person regrets. We got 14. Karma, which is interesting. 14 is usually temperance. This person regrets not being wise enough to be the yin to your yang. They regret not locking it in. They regret not focusing on what it is that they love, which was you, and locking it in with you and trying to make themselves into that interlocking piece that's just right there. They just regret this. Regret not doing this. Wow. Also they have regrets because of their karma. They realize that this has set them back with their karma. Okay, the way they treated you was not good for their karma, and they know it. This person might be spiritual or be awakening spiritually, and they're realizing, oh my gosh, I messed up. What am I gonna deal with now as a result? And they're regretting what's maybe going to be coming their way as a result of what they did in the past with you, or the way they handled you. They're realizing, oh my gosh, so if I work too hard to get viewer, or to get what viewer offers into my life, and then I finally scored the amazing thing, and then I was blind to it and just going around doing whatever, maybe sleeping around or always making decisions, impulsively going everywhere, doing other things, then what does this mean? Does this mean that the next time I want viewer back, or if I want something else that's very important to me, will I be able to find it? Am I gonna hurt now? What kind of pain is coming my way? They regret because maybe the consequence that you brought to them, or that they suffered because of the fallout of this mishandling of theirs, of you. Wow. Well, I think that you are beautiful, Pile 2. I think that the reason this person regrets you is because their eyes are open now, and they realize that you are worthy of them being self-controlled and grounded, and and all these things. Okay, you are worthy. All right, that goes without saying. And that's all I see in the cards for you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for bringing your energy to this reading. Thank you so much for coming by. If you've enjoyed this reading, give it a thumbs up. If you found it resonant, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye. Welcome to your reading, Pile 3. You chose this virgin cone shell. Okay, let's set it aside in this corner here for you, and let's begin your reading. Okay. So we have 18. Cell phone, battery. And it looks like this battery ran out of power, right, guys? Oh my goodness. This person regrets ghosting you. This person regrets not getting back in touch with you. This person may also regret not having the energy to keep up with you, or keep up with your side of things. Okay, this person regrets that their phone ran out of power when it was time for you to get in touch with them and talk with them. Their phone ran out of power, so they were not able to get a hold of you. Maybe they couldn't pay their phone bill, or maybe they couldn't their phone ran out of power, or they ran out of energy. I feel like this person regrets, just like ghosting you, fam, just not being there to respond to you when you contacted them. This kind of thing. Okay, let's go ahead and set this aside, and we'll get more context on this message as we go along. Okay, we have every step counts. So I feel like this person thought that they could skip steps with you. They thought that, for instance, it's like playing ball, right? You kick the ball over to the other side, and the other person has to kick the ball over to your side. Maybe, you kick the ball to them, they kick the ball to you, you kick the ball to them, and then they thought, I don't have to kick the ball back. They regret this. Okay, they regret not taking all the steps. See, there's steps because they're realizing now that you're that kind of person. You're the person who requires all the steps. You don't accept, oh, they skipped this step and that step, so I guess I'll accept that. They realize now that you don't do breadcrumbing, okay? You don't do half-assed, shoddy, here today, gone tomorrow, in and out. You don't do that. They regret this. They regret not being there for everything. I think also it could be like maybe an event. Perhaps you were getting married, or maybe you were graduating and they didn't show. They ghosted you. There were no show. They regret not being there for all the steps, not being there all the way. This could be a parent figure. This could be a boyfriend. This could be a mate. I don't know. Okay, you apply to your situation as it fits. But I feel like this person really regrets not being there for you during certain key and critical moments. Okay? I feel like there was an ascension that was happening in your life. You were going into the next level or something. You were leveling up and they weren't there for that. That's possible. We got public image, exactly. Worried about appearances, can't relax, conceited. So I feel like this person, perhaps they didn't want to show up because they were concerned. They didn't want to show up for you because they were concerned that the way it looked to others, okay? Perhaps they were embarrassed. I'm also feeling like, for some of you, this was really important. Something important happened where you needed the people in your life who mean something to you to show up. And this person did not show up on a very important time. And your image is very important to you. Okay, the way people view you and your how you are being perceived. Yeah, I feel like this person is regretting not having been there for you when maybe showed up for you in a public sense. Okay, someone didn't show up when it was important to do so, and this person didn't show up when it was important to do so, and they regret that. Okay, we have Spider-Man. Places to be, webs to shoot. Yeah, this person regrets not being somewhere. I'm telling you, they just did not show up. Places to be, I mean, come on, they were supposed to be somewhere. Perhaps they were supposed to go out on a date with you, or see you somewhere, or come represent for you at an event, or show up for you somewhere, or something like this. And they left you hanging. They disappointed you. They didn't even bother texting you to explain what was going on. What's the word? Just radio silence. Okay? Radio silence. They regret this. Okay? And, I think also what's going on is that maybe they were multitasking. I'm getting that too. They had another thing going on. And they just didn't know how to manage themselves properly. To say, oh my gosh, I have something else I had to do. I'm so sorry. Instead, they just stayed quiet about it. Left you hanging. We're getting the devil. So this person regrets a couple of things, a couple of messages coming through. I feel like this person regrets putting you through this. They now realize that the way they would ghost you and not show up was toxic. It was toxic to your being, toxic to your spirit. They were wrong for this, and they accept this. Okay. I feel like this person also, it's possible that they were cheating on you. Okay, it's possible this person ghosted you to go be with someone else who wasn't good for them. Okay, this was like an evil. I'm sorry, pile 3. Okay, but this was like a bad connection. Someone who maybe was a partner in drugs, or a partner in maybe they were both cheating on people. I don't know. It was not a good person, and it was not a good connection. This is who they went off to go be with. That just applies to some of you, not all. Okay, take it as it resonates. Use your intuition here as well. Okay, now I feel that this person really regrets putting you through this. They regret making you maybe possibly look the fool in front of others. They regret avoiding you because of their public image. They regret not informing you what was going on and keeping you in the loop instead leaving you hanging, not even bothering to explain themselves. They realized that was beyond. That's just beyond. It was toxic, and they regret that. Because acceptance isn't resignation. Surrender, presence, inner peace. Okay, let's get more information. We have 14. Benefactor. Okay. So this person regrets not accepting you. I feel like someone didn't accept you. I feel like they may have rejected you. Okay. This was their way of like passively rejecting you. Okay. By not giving you their presence. This was their way of sort of passively not being there. Okay. And they regret that. They regret also not being there to give you certain things. There was something you needed from them. And I'm getting back to this parental figure vibe again. Okay. Or it could be a give and receive situation where you gave them things, and when it came their time to give you things in return, they weren't there to do their part. They weren't there to give back. There was an imbalance here. But I feel like this person failed you in that regard, and they regret it. They regret not being there to give you what you needed. This could be a parental situation where they're like, I wasn't there on your wedding day. I wasn't there when you needed me at your graduation. I wasn't there. I didn't even tell you what was going on. I just, and they're realizing that this was them, that they had an effed up way of dealing with it. They really wish they would have been there for you, giving you what you needed, giving you what you had coming. Okay, perhaps you were a child to this person and they were supposed to be there for you. That, they just, period, point blank, they should have been there. And they're realizing this is where they failed you. They regret it. They kept you waiting. They kept you waiting. Kept you waiting for them to show up. They were too busy caring about what others thought. They wanted to go be somewhere else, instead of coming down to you. You are a very important relationship in their life, and they were more concerned with maybe what their friends or business partners or whatever thought. They didn't want to tell their business partners or whatever else they were doing, listen, I've got an event to be at. Let me go take care of this. That should have been their way of making space for you in their lives, and they couldn't bring themselves to do it. They were so desperate to be seen as very super reliable and dependable by another circle that they neglected you. As a result, okay, this is a toxic situation. I'm telling you that this other circle they chose over you wasn't doing them any favors. It was like they were being controlled, and this part of themselves, this other party or other situation was taking things from them. Think of like a toxic work environment where they make people work 14 hours a day or something like that. Okay. When that should not be the case. Or they say, yeah, we work for 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and we need you Saturday. Oh, by the way, we need you on Sunday too. And if you don't, you might lose your job. Or maybe this person got caught up in a relationship with someone who was very addictive and kind of kept them, would tell them, don't worry, don't go to that. Maybe that person that they shared an addiction with would call them on a Sunday that they were supposed to come take you to the park or something, and that person would call them and say, hey, come over here and let's indulge, and they'd be like, yeah, but I gotta be at this thing, and they'd be like, no, just come over here, and they'd get lured away by this evil relationship. I'm so sorry, Pile 3. Evil. Okay. This is what pulled them away from you. Something toxic, something abusive, something not right. They kept you waiting. They regret this. And we got small town. They realized also, too, that, maybe people knew about this. People talk, Maybe they went to go be with someone who you knew. Someone in y'all's town. Someone, or a situation where others could see. They're like, dude, isn't your daughter's wedding today? Or isn't your son graduating today? Or, shouldn't you be at your girlfriend's, with your girlfriend? I think they're celebrating her birthday party, or, like this. And it was someone in town, okay, someone around you that they would get distracted by, or it could be just a location. The tower, yeah. Wow. They really regret not breaking temptation, breaking their addictions. They really regret not saying, no, I resist you, devil. I resist you. In the name of Jesus, or the power of the Holy Mother of God, or by the power of universal light, or by the name of my children, or, by in the name of all that is holy, I rebuke you and I cast you out of my life, because I have someone important, you viewer, to go see. I have something that is good, something that is right for me to do, and you're in my way, and I need to shake this down. I need to break this up. It could be a toxic relationship that was keeping them bound to doing bad things. They should have broken up with that person. They're regretting that. They're regretting not quitting from this job that was working them and abusing them and keeping them away from their family or important connections in their life, from you, viewer, nurturing you at a time when you needed it. They really regret not breaking, rebelling, and breaking apart and rebelling and shaking up this connection. They regret it big time. They feel like this has ruined their lives in so many ways, not just with you, Pile 3, but in other ways as well. It's a big deal. It was a big deal. They really wish they had done it. We have options. Okay, so for some of you, this was cheating. For some of you, this was someone, they were cheating with someone who lacked morals. Someone who lacked morals, someone who knew about you. If you were in a relationship with this person we're looking into, that you have in mind, okay, or that you've come to this reading for, or maybe you didn't mean to, but this is the message coming through for you, okay? They were torn between you and someone else, or torn between you and another situation. They didn't know. It was like they were trying to serve two masters. It's impossible. Cannot serve two masters. We have they really regret, for instance, not choosing you. Okay. They really regret putting themselves in a situation where they were having to serve two masters. We have refusing to conform dismantles the world's fear-based system. Courageously be you. See, what did I say? They regret not dismantling this fucked up, I'm sorry, situation that was demanding weird things of them. This situation was basically implying, no, I never want you to go to your family's events. No, I never want you to spend the extra time you have outside of work with your loved ones. No, I never want you to pay the bills, take your kids out and pay their bills. No, I never want you. It could be a drug addiction, something demonic, something bad had a hold over them, Pile 3. And they really regret not dismantling that fear-based system. Had them around the neck, like, if you don't do this, okay, they were afraid they were going to lose something, and they needed to walk through and push past that fear. Break it up, shake it up. They lacked the courage. They regret that. They lacked the courage to be themselves. Themselves was, I want to be there for viewer. I want to do the things right in my life. I don't want to keep viewer waiting. I have things going on in my life that require my full attention, you see? They couldn't get away from this thing that was getting their full attention, and they regret that. They realizing that thing did not need their full attention. It did not require. They're seeing that now. They regret that. We have Apple. Temptation. Oh my gosh, guys, yeah. This could be an addiction. This could be a partner that was luring them with sex, or like some kind of weird kinky sex that they were like into, or like a drug or some addiction or something like this, okay? And they would fall for temptation. They would fall for temptation. The apple in the Garden of Good and Evil growing from that tree, they fell for it, took it, and took a bite out of that apple. I'm also seeing that they really wish they would have chosen health. I'm also seeing that they really wish they would have chosen health. They really wish they would have chosen the wholesome things. They were split. They were divided. They should have just split, divided. They really wish they would have chosen the good option. Okay? Not the bad boy or the bad girl. They really wish they'd chosen the good girl. okay, or the wholesome choice, which was you, viewer, okay. They really wish they'd applied their wisdom and their knowledge. They regret not doing this, okay. Next, we're getting inspiration, okay. This is the Ace of Wands. Yeah, they regret not taking action, being assertive, having gumption, having courage, standing up for themselves, and following their inspirations. They didn't follow their inspiration. They were inspired by you. I feel like they were inspired by you at one point in time to, or multiple even, to break this addiction, to break this hold, to get away from whatever this is, but they did not do it. They lacked the energy, they lacked the passion, they lacked the willpower, right? The Ace of Wands can imply willpower, creation, inspiration, desire, you know, that first push for life, for new life, for something new, to make something happen, the start of a business, the start, you know, it takes a lot of gumption and willpower to make something like this happen. And I feel like they failed to take action, and they regret that. They failed to take action in some way, either to come see you or give you the attention you needed, or be there for you, or to break this thing, be assertive and say no. They really wish they would have created something new instead of whatever this was. Wow. Well, I feel that you're beautiful, Pile 3, and you're worthy of correct attention, and that you are blessed. And regardless of how this person behaved, they're the ones who have a lot of learning and growing up to do. You are worthy. You are worthy. You were worthy, and you will be worthy. You've been worthy of the right treatment. You've been worthy of the right attention, the right treatment. You were worthy the whole time. This does not impact that. Okay, your self-worthiness. All right, you are a thing of beauty, and you're headed to great places. You're headed towards amazing things. Okay, all this did not take that away from you. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this message. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you found it resonant, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to catching up with you at the next one. Bye.